that would be why.
Probably.
First time you see him after every break, he has to shake hands.
Yeah.
Class.
Grab your people, head to the board.
We just got in
I
here.
don't know what the hell. The bell just went. Why are you late? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Have you not seen it?
Let's do it.
Poised perfectly correct. Yeah.
Okay, where we go?
No, that's the way to go.
Hold on.
In fact, I'm going to go even more old school. When I walk in the room, you have everybody to stand up.
Mr. Strauss,
Yeah. Actually, I quite like the rule for one particular reason. When any other teacher would walk in my room, everybody would stand up and it would really embarrass them and make it really obvious that they came into my room. For that, it was good. Pairs are on the board. Questions on the board. It's also in your notes.
I woke up when they were doing it at 1 a.m. I was just screaming. That's weird.
James recorded a bit and told me about it on the way here.
sounds good.
Start off writing the net of solubility equation.
Are we doing a lap?
What?
No lap?
No, you're working and you're late. Yeah.
Sorry, Mike is Bro,
What? How did he lie to you?
he said there was
Huh? And then that made you late?
No, it was my fault for being late. He didn't
Oh.
do it on me. He was being a good friend.
Um,
I was just looking at the board. Okay, so what's with the 8? My partner isn't even here, so who's your partner?
who's your partner?
Isabel.
Oh. I'm about to do attendance. I didn't know who was here when I started.
Mike's somewhere.
What did tell what? Yeah.
I just asked him that, if it was real.
What was real?
He's a new fella. I was looking at this and he goes, oh, new fella. And I was like, oh, is that real? I don't know if I'm just
That's
tired.
not a dumb question.
I
It is,
genuinely just
it
asked
is
him.
a long-standing tradition in chemistry that if you discover a new element, you
Did
name
you?
it after your high school chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it
Good
after
thing none of us, I don't think, are getting chemistry prize. I'm not gonna lie, that's all happening.
You never know.
If I look at my grades, man, I think we know.
You can be part of the team.
My like key discoveries.
Bad at it, but I know how to do it.
That's like key discovery. I'll wait until I like that bottle of water.
Is B here? Harris?
That's pretty awesome.
Portia?
Yeah.
Cole? Nicholas? Elena? Sienna? Isabel? No. Preston?
Yeah.
Marcus?
Yeah.
Declan? Hannah? There we go. Mia? Naomi? Evan?
Yeah.
Matt? Of course. We're all here, except for Isabel.
increase or decrease solubility?
Yo, what up?
Are we trying to decrease solubility? Or increase?
Harder glazing, so like we just beat the jet and then we just beat the Maybelline, bro. They're like way better than us.
Yeah, but the past 5 games.
Yeah, we lost in 9. Yeah, that's what Parker C. Clay was so much that he saw. Yeah, Connor Brown used a stick. Yeah.
I want you to increase the solubility.
And then he moved it up.
Can you go back to the question?
It's also in your notes.
Oh.
But like, the thing is, he's already out there just slipping in space like you all over. I mean, he needs more action on it.
And they didn't even put tape underneath it. She's got no tape on the bottom.
It's like a slip and slide board.
Not good.
Oh,
Not good.
You know how this works?
I don't need chemistry for next year, so.
Everybody needs chemistry. Stop saying that.
Come on, Dad. I literally did English. And I did a 75 average.
What's your average in English?
Yeah. 75 total. At least it's like
What's your,
they don't care at all about academics. They only care about the as long as I can shoot do a couple push-ups, then they're like, chill. It's kind of right.
What's your average?
No idea. No idea.
72 or something.
No, way higher. I don't know. Yeah, but that's 53 average. Right, no time. Bro, it's like 7.
I was like, I did it, and then my husband was like, I couldn't even send it to him on the last.
I was like 3 days left in break. And the chose that it was the hardest thing.
That would. Yeah, I think any 3PO4 would definitely do it. But I'd have to double check all of them. Just focusing on the first one, any 3PO4, why does it work? It's just Le Chatelier's principle. Yeah. Perfect. I believe that would work as well. I think actually so. Yes. The last two, magnesium sulfate and arizona, are basically the same.
Well, I know, so
But does
I was
magnesium also precipitate the chlorine? Because it would do it doubly so. Yeah. Sulfate works.
No, like, it was, he gave it to me,
Yours works
and
good.
there's literally a hole in the middle of what it's supposed to be.
Ooh, they should have some more. Yeah, that worked. Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's probably yeah, that's like a great spot.
Why wouldn't it work?
No. She did a fundraiser.
Oh.
And like sponsors, they sell bonds and money. Some of the people are talking about money and gold. She really can't use money.
No, unless you buy solely on practical jokes and
There you go.
yeah.
Find a solution.
Ooh. I did see a mug with a hole in it that was deliberately sold.
Also, I had to do my makeup and curl my hair at the same time. It's not for the week.
Why
Blush is not added properly.
Because if you lifted it up with your right hand and tried to get it
Feel better once you
side
do
to
it.
top, so if you were right-handed, you'd still all over.
You can use that money.
Yeah, you can use that mic.
Oh.
You just overfilled the bug. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this will work. Yeah. Whoever added K2S, KSO4, don't forget your 2 plus 2. But that would work as well. Excellent. Notes out.
Sorry. Okay, facts. No, apparently like sour, if you don't like, you know what I found is
You made it seem like just.
Okay, so like honey's
Show me one.
granola yogurt.
Yeah. It's so good. She knows what she's talking about. Sometimes you just like
Goki? I got it for Instagram.
I bought like a big tub of yogurt and then I like didn't finish. It was like I had like half of it left in the last like 2 days before it got over. It's so small. Was it a half? A tub? But I was like, I'm not gonna let Margaret text me.
If you ever have extra yogurt, you need to kind of call me out. I'll help you out. You guys have
Yeah, I still haven't finished my burger. It's like you think it's not that big, and then like
it's like
you're like, oh, I can't. It's like, oh, I can like finish this, and then
I cannot.
I can't.
Okay. Given, while you were up there at the board, I tried to think of another analogy given the amount of time we spent on it last day. It is just Le Chatelier's principle, and I think one of the things that gets confusing about it is that we give it a special name called the common ion effect. But the common ion effect is just Le Chatelier's principle. There's nothing special about it. So if this is the equilibrium, so here's the solid, these are the ones floating in solution. It only fits 6 because that's its particular solubility. If we add something with a common ion, what does equilibrium have to do? If it only fits 6, and I dump in something, there are 3 green gummy bears and 3 yellow gummy bears. I throw in something with a common ion, and one of them has to be kicked out and go back to the solid because only 6 fit. This is not part of the equilibrium because he's a different color, so he just wanders around.
I have a question.
Yeah?
The purple is a spectator ion?
Yeah, so the purple's a spectator ion.
Okay, but then it doesn't take up any space on
No. So the solubility is individualized for each type of ion. Yeah. Now if I add one, go reset it back to the beginning, take away the spectator ion and the common ion, and I add something that has no ions incoming, and, however, the red gummy bear is bestest friends with the yellow gummy bear, and they precipitate out. What happens to the equilibrium? It shifts which way? Yeah, that way. And so we will get another, oops, not that one. Where's my green one? There it was. Another one pops out, and it will shift over.
So, if it's not a common ion, how come red can take yellow?
Pardon?
If it's not a common ion, why can red take yellow?
If it's not a common ion, oh, because they're bestest friends. It precipitates. So in this case, it's like adding the sulfate. So the red's like sulfate, it grabbed it. It's like, we're going to take you, and it makes a completely different compound. That completely different compound will have its own solubility and may have its own thing, but it may not be saturated yet either, so you can just keep making more. Any other questions? Is that helpful in any way at all?
Wait, so were we supposed to add in this one?
Well, depends what you were trying to do. Were you trying to make it more soluble? More soluble is shifting to the right. You are just getting rid more of the solid. Less soluble is shifting to the left. And I asked you to make it more soluble, so I wanted it that way. If you wanted to go that way, if you wanted to go to the right, one second. Then throw something in that doesn't have a common ion, but precipitates one of them. So, red likes yellow, they're bestest friends, they precipitate, the other one's a spectator ion, and you get another shift to the right. Does that make sense? It's just an analogy, if it's helpful.
What if we're going to the left?
So if you're going to the left, you add a common ion. Put them all back. So if you want to go to the left, it's Le Chatelier's principle. If you want to go from here, did I do that? View, zoom, page width. There we go. If you want to make it go this way, you have to add a common ion. So something in there that would replace one of them. So now let's take our common ion, stick it with spectator ion, throw it in solution. Now there's too many of them. And so one of them has to leave and get replaced. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Wait, I have one more question. So, spectator ion is when you want it to shift to that side, and then the red being best friends with yellow is when you want it to switch to the other side.
The red's being best friends, precipitating out, shift to the other side. I wouldn't phrase it as spectator ion. I'd phrase it as they have a common ion, and the reason because both of them can have spectator ions.
Okay, so
Because when you added red to make it precipitate, red's previous partner was the spectator too.
okay, so
Yeah.
common ion goes to the left,
Yeah.
and then if it doesn't, but it precipitates, it goes to the right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Turn to your next page.
I understand it now.
What would you add to SRSO4 or AgIO3? So you have two there to increase its solubility. There you go. Portia, you can join any group.
That's when we lost 8-0. We lost 8-0.
Elena, there was an 06 on the ice. He's turning 19 this year. Playing against Michelle. There was a series. You would have thought. Yeah, but there was a guy turning 9 playing against Michelle. Said next time.
One, I sent Zach to help me.
Okay. We had two people throw it in the middle of the night in the hallway, so
Okay, perfect.
it's going around.
Is it Norwalk? Because I put it over the break.
Oh, I hope it's not, but there's a lot of boys going down. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Two. Where are the attachments for the gas?
Oh.
You want to increase its solubility so that we have to precipitate out something. So then find something that precipitates. SR. So,
That's why you
so that we just do SO4. Is that?
Okay. Wait, where's your time?
Oh, this AGI.
Oh, it's AGI. Where's
Of course, one looks good. And a CO4, that wouldn't do anything. Well, nothing you'd want.
Oh, wait, there's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It makes more sense, still wouldn't do anything.
Okay.
No, yours is
I don't know
good.
the charge. I don't know the charge.
What do you need the charge?
What is this?
What, hold it.
Well,
Why don't you know the charge? Why is there an I beside your
I have
silver?
a question.
This is
AGI.
This is AGI.
Right.
And there's,
No, it's
So
not, the
we're
first
fine.
AGI03 is correct. AGI is weird.
but
I think it's AG.
we need to go.
No, it's not iodide, it's iodate.
Like that?
It's right here.
Yeah, but with charges.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
So it's
But that's, okay.
Pardon?
Mr. Gonzalez?
AGI03, no, IO3
So
minus.
then you just take
Yes.
some. So this works also.
Oh, hold it, what? To increase it, striving and stuff. Oh yeah, you're wrong. They're right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You're wrong on two levels because you put brackets in when you don't need them.
So yeah, I don't know.
You do that all the time. I'm gonna get a hammer, and every time you do it, I'm gonna break a finger.
Okay,
Not to be
wait,
violent.
what did you do wrong?
You're adding a common ion. You're decreasing it
So a
slightly.
common ion.
I'm not adding a common ion. Oh, there's a common ion. Wait, is this one right? You think it is?
That might be right.
Is a common
Why is
ion?
it not, what do you think this is? Yeah, that makes sense, because I forgot that.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Okay, so you need NaCl.
Add Na2SO4 to precipitate strontium. Nope, you're adding a common ion. Them. You do the same thing though. You're trying to increase the solubility, so you want it to go right. And adding sulfate will make it go left because you're adding a common ion. You're adding the same color gummy bear. That looks good for the first one, and that looks good for the second one.
Is this one good?
Oh, probably, yeah. Sulfite is almost low solubility with everything, so I'm just gonna guess it's good. I'm walking behind you.
Nice.
That looks good. Second one looks good. I think the good one looks good. That looks good.
Is this on?
Oh, sorry, I should have said well, you've been away for a while. So, you are, but why does that work?
I'm gonna, like, fire for those.
Write it the other way around, we always write the cells.
What is my
Because we're gonna write
I know.
KSP next, and we write cells and all.
leading
Oh, back to what?
she's been leading on so much.
What?
I'm like,
So, that's your name. If I want to increase the solubility, I want to go that way.
like not just
Unless you tell you principles, whatever
like
you
she
do.
like
right?
keeps talking like she
I'm
wants to
gonna
get with
go
him.
that way.
Wow, like he's
And that's what you do
playing
it.
with everything.
This or that.
Just gets to be like a
I
friend.
can go down.
What about like
Right.
Gmail?
So if you add
Ooh, bro.
That like checks
to
for
this,
those.
Okay, Mark.
say.
No, bro, what the hell? I'm sorry.
I would add.
No, I don't. I don't know. I swear to God. Huh?
The reason being,
This
if you
song.
have your solubility.
Look at this place.
School one to the, I guess, I don't know.
There's literally zero rap. Zero rap
I
at
mean,
all.
I might do that for the laptop, but I was
And
kind
then
of on my
keep the
iPhone.
fizz
I
too.
don't know, I was just
No solubility.
It's not like a sandwich with all that.
Yeah. But like, I was
So
hoping
what
I
that
could
will
get
do
off the phone.
is that will make
And then also, like,
SR3
I, my mom just said that
So
she
this
was
will
Verizon
drop out of
people
solution.
gave me and said she was phone, and they're like,
If I could also add for sulfate,
shut up.
which looks a bit like, I could add PB
Actually, so stupid.
NO3 2. Nitrate is soluble in everything, so I can and what I would make there is PB SO4.
Oh my god.
So there's like multiple heads, anything that precipitates those will shift it. That is increasing the solubility. And it's weird because the solubility is defined like it's a block because the numbers come out of the same table. It doesn't only it's just in your solution you dissolve more because you just use the shit in there.
I actually like I don't think
The
I've
other way,
like been more excited for
especially
the
since
next
you're away,
break ever.
is if you wanted to decrease the
I always
solubility.
think like, oh,
So she tells you principle, whatever you do, if you tries to undo,
yeah, like
you know, this,
I'll go home, but it's
it would be great if you could increase them. You increase them, it will shift up.
Me too. I don't think I've ever been like
So we
so
just add
adamant about
SR
going
NO3. That's a spectator on, you're adding more of that, and it's done that way. And that is soluble to the fly. If I wanted to add more SO4, oh, sorry, parent SO4.
dead, and I was like, time to go back
Pretty much, well, SO4, there's very few things that do. That's all, no, actually, lots of things are show, never mind, those are the ones that aren't. But yeah, pretty much everything. The easiest ones, those, studying on everything, I'm gonna write it on the table. And that, studying on everything, so I just use neutral ions. So you just write
You can still play.
SO4, that'll increase the.
And when you
that'll
use
decrease the-
an amp on acoustic
Okay.
guitars, a lot of the time it sounds like.
And we spent like a whole day on it, so in retrospect, we didn't actually miss that.
Bro, I was using Peter's amp, it makes it sound so much different.
Trust. Like, I would know. Oh, what?
Yeah, they were like,
More groups?
you know what you're gonna do.
Oh, yes, I'm with Mark Dizzy.
Go, I should change it.
No. If you change it, I'm crashing out.
Can we not do
I'm
this
just
again?
leaving,
It's
man.
literally the first time
Sit
we've
down
ever
for
done
like 5
this.
minutes.
The last time.
Sorry, what?
Can we like do it on, can we do one on our own?
What I was gonna say, partners, but you don't have to come to the board.
Yeah.
Just do it, like sitting down.
Good idea.
That's fine, because I
Like-
still have to walk over there.
But grab your new partner and then like sit down at a couple tables. And then I want you to separate copper plus 1, copper plus 2, and oh no, I don't want you to separate. I just want you to determine what is in this. So you might have to separate it out if that would help. You can just add things to see what precipitates what. How would you figure out what's in there?
What? Is it just copper 2, copper 1?
Yeah, so you have a solution. You have a bucket of water, just clear water, everything's dissolved. You think those might be in it, and you have to know what's in it. You test. So you can take water out and test it. You have all the ions you want.
So it'd be like,
Yeah, so you can go in the lab, grab some sodium sulfate, and put it in. Does it precipitate? Which ones? Figure out which ones it contains.
okay.
Okay?
So like, it'd be like,
Does that make sense?
yeah. So, it'd be like something
Nicholas,
like
Naomi,
tapes.
Henry,
Fire song. This one is C.
Karis,
Yeah.
Henry, Preston, your partners. Cole, Portia.
Let's put like iodine in. I don't know. Put this one.
Working together.
But you can't just put iodine.
It's in your notes. Yeah, it is.
We don't have page 15.
I will
find out.
I will bet you that's not something I'm right about.
It ends at 16. I don't have it going.
Oh, is that?
No, I added that.
Iodine.
Okay, we just did that one.
Magnesium, iodine. Sorry.
We just did that one. You're right. There is no. There is no page with it on it. Don't look at it.
Okay, and then for the wait.
I have no idea.
Answer's all in.
We just wait, but that's weird because there's no CO2 in this table of things.
I'm going to ask a group to explain their method.
There's no CO2 in this whole table.
What?
There's no copper.
Yeah, there is.
CO2.
Yeah, I can show you where CO2 is. It's there.
Oh.
It's there.
Ah, good.
It's there. It's there.
I understand.
Yeah. It's like, have you seen the two books that explain all of humanity's knowledge?
What? No.
No.
Oh wait, why do we use magnesium? Sodium iodine. Why?
Oops. Why couldn't we cover this?
What do you think? We use sodium iodide.
And then CU for the charge 2 would work. And then CA for the charge 2.
Sodium is where's soluble with everything. Oh. Sodium iodide? Yeah. No, but we have to use something that doesn't precipitate the copper.
Sodium chloride. Sodium chloride.
What says sodium iodide? Like, that's just a different way. Like we just do it our way. I hate it. Well, I hate it.
Yeah, you can do any way you want. That down there is just one way.
You're right. So then we just put something that low solubility this.
So there, the two books that will teach you everything, the sum total of human knowledge.
Hydroxide.
Because if they teach you everything they learn at Harvard Business School, and they teach you everything they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, then you know everything.
Wow. Magnesium method.
Dude, guess what? I did the U of T engineering supplement with like the video and
Yeah.
stuff yesterday.
Yeah?
Worst experience of my
Worst
life.
experience of your life?
Not getting into U of T. At least not for engineering. I also applied for
Hey, you can always switch over later on.
to engineering.
When you really want to do something, there's always a way around it.
We did the last one on our own.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't.
Just all
something
of
else
it
before?
is that, like,
Like KSO.
Oh, you have to write it out. Yeah, you have to write out your
Okay.
opinion.
right.
Yeah. And yeah, I do. Somewhere. Probably down there. What? Did you lose your?
Yeah, I know.
I swear.
Gave us all the answers.
Yeah, no, you should be doing your head. Where's the head?
I feel like this is too easy.
Those are the right ones.
Okay, Marcus, what
No,
did
you got
I
it.
think you should
I just
really
saw
study
it.
class.
I just precipitated it. Everything. What?
I mean, currently,
Like find something that's
the lab books. I don't
that's
have
that precipitate that is low solubility with the thing you're trying to test out,
Oh.
and then you put that with the metal. And then, you know what I mean?
Did you hand it into my mailbox?
With like
Anybody? Oh, the chief question is, does anybody else not have their napkins? Because if nobody has it, then I definitely should have them all.
Wait, Mr. Falcon, check ours.
Did you get it back?
Oh, wow.
Because everybody, of course, has been doing their head
Did you guys all have to do it?
faithfully all along.
A lot of people in this
No, I like all.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. This is possible.
I know this song. Yes.
The thing is, I don't think anything out of this.
I'm legit. I have so many questions.
Someone's upset.
I got no idea. Mr. Falcon, check ours.
What's that?
It's just the guitar riff is so majestic. I know, right? And then as soon as the singing starts, it just ruins everything. This sucks. Like there's it's really like kind of it's like least nonchalant part. I'm such a good singer.
Oh,
This song's fire.
here's some of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Nope. Sienna, chemistry 11 AP.
This, I love this song. This song's so good. That'd be fun to learn on guitar. Yeah, it would be.
Isabel.
So like one?
Chemistry 11
Wait, I have so many idea like actually.
I think those are all those
These are Mr. Smith. You sure you don't have
He hasn't sent me that many messages already.
No one else has said that they don't have them. If I have them and I put them somewhere, then I'm fully prepared to turn my place upside down.
If it was here, it would be.
Is that a tough
What's
list?
that?
Marcus?
That's what this
Is
is.
that tough list? Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I should
No,
have
no, I
I
know.
also have a tough A photo of this.
Ahem. Paying attention.
I also have a tough A photo.
Ahem. Because I don't know if this is a 911 type of emergency event. Where's your Hebden, your line Hebden you do work in right now?
In there.
You have it.
Some
Everybody
people
else.
get back
I haven't got my
like, both
Yeah.
did
Wait,
not.
I haven't. Yeah.
You just listened to that.
Is it not in the bowl?
You didn't even hand it in.
I told you, I haven't gotten it back. Like,
Yeah, you email, you're getting it mailed to you or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, so you talk.
I thought we handed them in.
Isn't it in the bowl?
mine, I'm pretty sure it's not my bag.
No, those are labs.
They were gonna love that one.
Yeah, I'm marking them right now.
Did you like
Take
put
your
it
time.
inside the bathroom? It makes sense.
Grab, Isabel, Z-Block, new metal test, lab,
He's supposed to be.
seafood lead, Alex, most of these are the science 10. And I don't leave the class.
Is that not?
I will go and check in a moment. Because maybe I did leave the classroom with them. Anyway.
Okay, so didn't mean this.
I will go back and check.
It would be like
It's so like.
Okay, with this method, what do you add first?
Magnesium iodine.
MgSO4?
Magnesium iodine.
Magnesium iodine.
Sorry? Elena?
What's the point?
NaSO4? Why? What will that precipitate?
The Ca plus 2.
Does it precipitate anything else? No. Okay, that'll work. And then what do you do?
And then you,
What
if there's a precipitate, it's that, and then you filter it instead of the sodium.
Okay, so what you add until no precipitate. filter, set aside. What would you add next? Because once I start with one, it matters which one you start with, so I have to go with the same method. If I switch methods, someone might add something that won't work.
NaCl.
Why? What will that precipitate?
The copper, +1.
It is.
You're bald. I'm not bald.
Do the hairline.
And last one?
NaOH.
And what? And it will precipitate everything. So
With the C, the copper +2.
okay. And at that point, you don't have to filter and set aside because this just said identify. The reason you have to filter and set aside, did you find anything that only precipitates one of them?
The NaSO4.
I did.
Doesn't SO4, oh yeah, the NaSO4.
Only precipitate.
But if there's any calcium left, I think the hydroxide would precipitate out. Oh, would it? Yeah, the hydroxide would precipitate out the calcium. So you have to get rid of the calcium in order to do some of those later tests. If you found a test that only precipitated one of them and you found 3 of them, you wouldn't have to filter it and set it aside because you could just quickly test each one and see which one had the precipitate or not. You can also combine tests. So this is one method of doing it. You could also say, oh, this I will add and this precipitates copper +1 and calcium. But then I will add this and it precipitates calcium +2 and copper +2. And I know that if I do both of those tests by process of elimination, if it does it both times, it has to be calcium that's there. And so you can also have a branching effect like that. Devise a procedure by which contaminating ions in hard or polluted water can be removed. I'm going to give you some moments right now to read that. There's some extra evidence in the back if you'd like to pull them out, textbooks. It's also linked on the Google Classroom. And check. And I'm going to just walk back and see if I can find your evidence. Maybe I grabbed them when I grabbed all your lab books and then I'm marking it. So I will double check if I have those right now. And pull out your evidence if you have them, your line paper. We are now done this section. And we're going to start KSP very, very soon. Actually, maybe before the end of class. But I'll give you some time to work right now.
When's our next test on this?
We have one more unit, so not too long. A couple of weeks.
So we're not doing like smaller.
After this test, we'll have a smaller test. So after this is the last of the big ones. This is the 3rd unit, so the next test will be on 3 units.
So we're not gonna have like a smaller test on like.
Solubility, no. You're gonna have a quiz. You have a quiz.
Yeah.
When's your quiz this week? Oh, I was thinking Thursday. Would you prefer it on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it'll be Saturday.
Since when do we have a test this week?
You have a quiz? I told you last class you'd have a quiz.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Someone definitely asked me, and I was like, yeah, you'll have a quiz next week on
Probably
H.
them directly.
No. He said it loudly. I don't have a quiet voice. Okay. Well, now, quiz on Saturday.
On like
H.
just H.
H.
Did we have a G?
Don't know if we did. Should we make? I'm now questioning whether or not we did.
I don't think we did.
Why don't we assume it's on GH then? Thanks, Elena. We'll call it Elena's quiz.
Probably not.
well done. Keen, marks going up. Unlike Evan here, who keeps going on his phone. Can I have your phone, please, Evan? Phone?
No.
Don't make me talk to your husband. Because he'd have to take it for a week, whereas I'll just give it back at the end of class.
Yeah.
You're literally watching movies,
No.
obviously, on your lap. Nothing in your lap is that fascinating.
It was TikTok. Wait, is this the whole Hebden in here? Wait, what is the thing we linked to?
Hebden.
Wait, what are we supposed to be looking at?
You might want to write some of those examples down. We're up to there.
Page assigned reading. Is this assigned reading on the Hebden?
Yeah, it's in the Hebden.
Oh, page.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in the Excel spreadsheet.
This is in the Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
This is the like the thing.
The actual book.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this
Yeah.
is. Did you do the whole book? That's a lot.
I would like to point out that COVID happened, and that a ton of people were trapped at home with no access to their Hebden, a fate worse than death.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
And so I had to provide it for them. I don't feel bad because we still literally buy the textbook and give it to you.
So.
Like, something.
But it is odd. Well, the reading. The reading is not in the Google Classroom if you don't have your textbook. There's more textbooks at the back. You can run to your room and get whatever you need.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's always like, it's always so That's not that
That is odd.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's just
There you go.
Why does this come
That's
up?
hilarious.
Why does this come up when I had the baby? Holy.
There.
Spooky.
What is that? What?
It's scary.
Those are Amazon boxes.
Is that a game?
If you were to tell me, like 25 years ago, that someone would invent a company that would slowly destroy the world with consumerism, that was named after a rainforest and literally had a smirk on its logo as it did so, I would have said,
That's tough.
that novel is not believable. Then they would say that's Amazon.
You think Amazon single-handedly ruined consumerism?
Well, they encourage. Do you know the number of packages we now get compared to like before Amazon existed? It's great for people who can't get out and buy things and nobody now gets stuff anyway. But also the sheer amount of extra energy is now going into, because people don't buy them in stores and they're all individually shipped, the increased impact on the environment is orders of magnitude worse. The next one that's doing such things, AI, make this picture, the amount of energy going into cooling servers is accelerating our CO2 problems enormously. You shouldn't ask ChatGPT to write your essay.
We should
Because
just
it's actually more efficient for your brain to eat food and do it.
We should just switch over to nuclear energy.
What's wrong with bacon? Bacon's delicious.
What's this one?
That's just cold imagery. It's just like,
Okay, I'm gonna run back and find it. If I find them, B, you're gonna get an award because you're the only one who seems concerned. And now I'm deeply concerned that nobody else has been doing their Hebden at all. And I'm going to decrease everybody's mark arbitrarily, except for B's. Yeah. Yeah. You what? No, I literally didn't hear what you said.
What were you gonna say?
Also, on that note of getting a cold, don't come into Privet House or any other house. Everybody got that announcement? Somebody threw up in the hallways in Privet 3 times. And someone else suggested what's infecting the school based on what they had last week. Norwalk. Norwalk will rip through and turn every house into the Privet plague. We had 60% in the health center in one day. More than half of Privet was on dorm rest or in the health center on one particular day last year. It was
Wait, it's the
insane.
same thing as last year.
It's gonna happen.
Norwalk is bad.
That's what we had last year.
No.
That was a great play.
Put
I know. They
put a
sent me
mask
home-
on and don't touch anybody.
They sent me home for break a week early because it wasn't useful having me here. I would just wake up, go to the
I had
house,
it for
and
like
spend the whole day
but
running on.
Yeah, we don't want you here.
Yeah, I didn't get it bad. So.
No, like Eli was so rude. Yo, what is wrong with your house?
I was like sleeping in the bathroom.
Or we're the only ones who deal with it and everybody else just gets sick and don't tell me. Yeah. Do you know what the Spanish flu is called? The Spanish flu. Yeah, because they reported it. It actually started in the States. Going back in
No.
That one's sick.
And it's
Yeah.
like starting to print again.
Shark with couple Mac parents.
Yeah.
It's just like
So
this
remember, the
one
messenger
has
always
to be
gets
like
shot.
one freaking return. I should ruin this right now.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think there's a shark riding
Most
that
defined jawline.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I have a feeling it's bad.
Wait,
Yeah.
my music is still playing.
I don't even understand what's happening. I don't even understand why.
It's flying, but I didn't want to tell him.
Faces.
What?
I didn't want to say anything.
I was so confused. No, because like I'm sorry, like when something's like off with someone, I'm gonna tell them.
I
And
think
like
if
I was so
Nathan-
close to telling him, but I was like, wait, that's not
Real
true.
quick.
I'll tell him.
I'm not sure though.
Who's little brother?
What are you gonna do that? Because
No.
I'm sorry, if
I
I just
just-
pull
I
up, I
didn't see
would
it.
Oh my God.
Because I just like,
That's horrible.
Nah, that's too awkward. I couldn't say anything.
I feel like you have to though. I feel like it's embarrassing. Like,
In the
for him.
front, in the middle of class, like
I
I feel like
remember
you feel like
class.
just zipping up my phone. Ooh.
Can you afford it? That's insane.
This little reach.
In grade 10 in business class, Mr. McDonald's flies was like that and Sarah goes flies like that.
Oh, I remember.
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Oh,
didn't
I
like
remember
her.
that.
Oh, that's so sad.
I feel like
I
you
would
gotta,
go
you
and
gotta
cry.
tell him. I feel like it's more embarrassing.
No.
That's my god. He's
If he doesn't
He's
know.
too cold for that.
I feel like it's more embarrassing for him if he doesn't know.
He's not gonna
Yeah.
know that it was down though. He's just gonna
I
think.
feel like you should be like, yo. Hey, you whisper it. You should be like,
Yeah, he just passes the bullet now.
and you'll quickly flip around. What are they king?
Sorry, I'm just saying, how do you wake up and not do anything properly? Or like you don't just
How do you forget? That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I like never walked around.
I can't say that happened.
That's
I feel like there's no chance you can say it's never happened.
No, it probably
You've
happened.
never like
That's
made it.
what
You've never like made it to the calf and like, whoa, you just noticed. I feel like it's never more than like 15 minutes to notice. There's no chance you. There's no chance
you
you've gotten
notice
it.
it on someone like him and Mr. McDonald.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because
when their belt's kind of holding on for dear life.
that's a good one. Guys, I'm really bored without my phone. I have no dopamine.
Get your laptop out.
Unfortunate. Still let her point it. Okay.
No, because if you took my phone, I can't even listen to music. It's like my first time taking my AirPods out in 2 weeks.
So what's like go distracted
Dude,
after
it's
that?
just like not her.
No,
Like
he's
it's
not.
not-
He's gonna be a wild rose. Like, you know. He's gonna be a wild.
It's gonna
Alright.
take all the way.
Still.
Yeah, I'm just not getting back into
Yeah.
9:30.
I don't understand what it's saying. Hardiness of
Well, just gonna have to sell that same one. Make sure you hear it. So brilliant.
Shit.
You know, inspires me to keep going.
What is Miss Rogers doing?
The
question last time, was you guys didn't read the reading? And he put some like weird shit about the atmosphere on the test.
But how are we supposed to understand?
That's crazy.
What the hell is that?
Wait, what page was it reading?
Medieval night in the
Bro, what is Bro.
Did he rock the spider blood?
Ninjas can't catch you if you're on fire. Like he has autism.
Oh my god, he's live streaming.
Is he?
Oh my god.
That means a live stream until.
We've said way worse
I'm
times.
so hyped
No.
to watch the live.
No, we have
I'll just have it playing.
No, I'm checking to see if you can hear them.
I'm cooked.
Yeah,
You said there's no audio.
It's live.
Really silent.
Probably no audio.
It's only
Probably.
audio.
No, it definitely does. Oh,
It does have audio.
Yeah,
Why-
like
His computer lights on.
Okay, what are the
No,
odds
I-
that he watches every class back though? Like,
No, he definitely doesn't.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Tell me that.
No, I've watched one of them before. And I heard myself
Yeah, but like anybody else can.
Imagine one of the grade 10s watches it and tells him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I was kidding.
Oh, you're so audible. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Oh my
Yeah, you
god.
can hear it. So much closer to
Coming back.
You guys, he's returning.
Nope.
Evan, what were you doing? Your body language is way too guilty.
No, I was doing my work.
And everybody is aware that it was recording the whole time I was gone.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. B's lab book, which I have marked. Declan's lab book. Stephen's lab books. Oh. B's happening. B, I humbly apologize for every doubt in your word.
It's open. I'm cooked.
Cole. I humbly apologize. Apparently I took it away with me.
Wait, did you mark
It's
that?
not to the
I am in the process of marking.
It's like, oh, that's
As I remember. Marcus, I think this is yours. You don't write your name on things?
Yeah, it's on
Where? Where is your name? I wrote your name here with a question mark. So write your name on the front.
Look at the front.
I apologize, but I immediately take the apology back.
No, you're right. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Hannah. Can't believe why you two that.
You made a funny face.
Inside joke.
Yeah, it's an example that we just did. Like how to remove ions with Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't go back.
Oh, you never know.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Sienna.
Yeah.
I also humbly apologize. And apparently that is all the people I need to apologize to, because nobody else was here on the last day and put their head in it. I have literally no. Thank you, Lee, for calling attention to that fact. It is so obvious that none of you are doing chemistry.
I was just like, no, but I was actually doing the first time.
So,
Here, look.
yeah, you keep saying that. What are you? I'm not even back and forth. I'm gonna put it in the back of something. I'm gonna dissolve it. Yeah, like,
I don't think he's trying to tell us. Like, are we supposed to remember
This just
stuff?
makes it a lot more confusing.
it's a practical example. However, I don't mind talking about it. I just figure it's nice once in a while not to have a lecture and be able to just quietly read it. What page is it on? Portia? What page is which page?
104. 104.
Yeah, 104. Okay, so let's go down. Hebden text.
It's on the second. It's on the second image.
This one?
The second one.
Yeah. And to talk about what's important in knowing from this. Oh. Whoa. Evan, stop getting the giggles.
I don't have dopamine for my phone. So.
Okay, that is the saddest excuse I have ever heard.
I'm sorry.
I award you no points, and everyone in the room has been injured in their brain just from listening to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah. Can I get it back?
No.
Okay.
Stop talking.
It's okay. I need music.
Okay. Water hardness. Have you heard of phosphates in cleaning stuff?
Yes.
Do we still have phosphates in our laundry detergent?
No.
No. If you ask parents, grandparents, you will find out that the laundry detergent does not work as well as it did 20, 30 years ago. And the reason for that is because phosphate, when you add phosphate, if you look at what phosphate precipitates, it precipitates almost everything. So a little bit of phosphate inside of your laundry detergent, all that calcium and magnesium is reacting with the soap instead of the soap reacting with the dirt. And so it reduces the effectiveness of soap. If you add a phosphate, it precipitates out the calcium and magnesium right away. And then the soap just works better. And then we noticed that when we took all of the washing material and just threw it out into the ocean or lakes, phosphate's a micronutrient. It's not that plentiful in nature. And when you put a lot of it there, if it's something that's in short supply, you'll get an algae bloom or some other growth because everything takes advantage of it. And if you have an algae bloom, then it will cover the area, stop light from hitting the bottom of the pond or lake or area, and kill all the fish and stuff that's there. So it's bad. So if everybody's using phosphate, it's bad. So they banned phosphate. And we still don't really have a great replacement for it. There's a lot of other things in there that they're trying to kind of work, but phosphate was fantastic. However, if you're a business, you are totally allowed to ruin the environment because you're a business, and business is business. And so they can still get phosphated laundry detergent. So if you know someone who runs one of those businesses, and you steal some from your university dorm room, or maybe if you have access to a lab, and you know which phosphates to use, you can make your own. But unless you have those two isolated cases, if everybody did that, we'd be back to the same problem when we're damaging the environment. So this reading, I keep forgetting this is that sensitive of a touch screen. It's just to go through some of the common household type problems that you have with precipitates. Things like calcium and magnesium, and the difference between hard water and soft water. And the type of water it is, soft or hard, depends on what other ions are around. Those ions would either make it easier or harder to get rid of the calcium and magnesium. Calcium carbonate, if you boil it, if you have bicarbonate in your water naturally, if you boil the water, that's why you get that scaling on the inside of your kettle. You're actually removing the calcium carbonate because the heat will drive that reaction, and it makes your water actually taste better. That's not, hard water isn't always the best tasting. However, it's also a really important source of calcium and magnesium and other micronutrients in water. If you drink water, you should not drink distilled. If you drink distilled water, you will actually leach minerals out of your body into the water. Le Chatelier's principle. It will move from the area of highest concentration to the area of lowest concentration, coming right out of your bones if necessary. So if all you drink is distilled water, you're actually not doing yourself a service. You need to drink tap water. Not bottled water can sometimes be distilled because they want it to be more seem more pure. But often bottled water is just tap water that they bottled somewhere and sent to you. They don't necessarily do anything special to it. Although Mill Bay water is fairly highly chlorinated, so sometimes bottled water is a little bit nice. But again, you're throwing away the plastic every time. More CO2 production. Tap water is safe. So this reading is just to go through these reactions. And so I'm not going to do them intensely as notes, but I want you to pay attention to the equilibriums involved, Le Chatelier's principles, what's precipitating and what's reacting. Next class, I was actually going to do this class. We're going to do a lab on a qualitative analysis. In that particular lab, you'll be working with concentrated sulfuric acid and concentrated ammonium. Certain sections will be in the fume hood. I'm going to pre-announce safety risks. Do not take anything out of the fume hood that is in the fume hood. You will need to use the snorkels. If you sniff test pure ammonium, you can permanently burn out the sensors in your nose. Now, I doubt you'd do that because you'd smell it way before it got near your nose. But given that I was once stupid enough to sniff glacial acetic acid and knock myself to the floor, people can do dumb things when not warned, and I'm one of them. So there's going to be some dangerous stuff in the next lab. It's a qualitative analysis. You're not going to be filtering and setting aside. You're going to be mixing things together, looking for precipitates. And we'll even show you a nitrate test. It's a brand new lab. I just invented it. So I just finished writing it up and then gave it Monday night at midnight to Ms. Stewart and said, "Can we do this Tuesday?" And she said, "No, I need more than 8 hours notice." So we're going to see if we can do it on Thursday.
Are we having time to do the pre-lab in class?
I'm going to put up a copy of it, and what I'm going to, thank you for the last part, you don't have, this is not one you're going to write in your lab book. You're going to write everything on a sheet of paper. For this one, for the other ones I was looking at your write-up, and I'm still marking those, but for this one I'm going to be looking at your results. So you're going to have two unknowns. If you identify them, off to the races. You have to be able to identify them and support your reasoning for identifying them that way. So I'm looking for this one, I just want your sheets back, and I'm just going to be looking at the quality of your results. It's a qualitative lab, so that seems somewhat appropriate. And I'm hoping it's kind of fun. I was recently informed by one of my own children that chemistry labs aren't fun, and I'm feeling a little sad. Anyway, this is the lab. It's just one document waiting, but I just printed it. And then it said it wasn't there. Oh. It didn't print. Print now.
No. I would kill myself.
Oh, I don't even see.
I don't need it.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
I
Thank you for helping save me.
I also don't need it.
Despite the fact that I print off way too many, I still find sometimes I run out because people lose their stuff. Do you need it? Do you need it?
I.
I?
Yeah.
There's no I.
No, we haven't
No, you
done
have to
the
make
one
the
yet.
procedure.
We always have to
Your
do
notes tell you how to do it.
Wait, this is the lab?
No. That's the next section of
Is
notes.
have you put the notes up there?
Nope.
Do you have filled out
I don't tend to post them. I used to. And then, but you did miss a lot. If you remind me, I'll put some up.
Okay.
You gotta remind me though. I tend not to because I used to all the time. In fact, I would auto post them.
They are.
You have, they're like previous years.
It says filled out.
Yeah.
October 2024 filled out. September 2024 filled out. November 2024.
Not recent ones though, right?
Yeah, it's K-F.
Yeah, that was for Preston. But unless someone specifically requested, I don't, because I find if you go to a friend and get an explanation along with them, it's often a better method than just relying on blind words on the screen. Notes without context often don't mean as much. If you weren't there when they were done. Does that make sense? Yeah, but you missed a lot. So yes, like, the answer is yes, I will. But I know myself well enough that I might forget. So remind me as often as needed.
Okay, let's see. I'll put that.
How much on it? Yeah.
Like everything. Related.
Wait, it's not.
Yeah, take the.
Oh, he's gonna come back.
He went upstairs, Marcus.
Okay, Marcus, why would calculate? Unpause. Volume all the way. I don't even know where to.
It's right when the right after the one thing comes up.
No, just keep.
After the what? Right after the what?
No, I actually can't.
We didn't say anything that bad.
Yeah. You don't say something.
That's the worst thing. That's not like. Who cares? Can you go do that? No, I'm chilling.
I just have the fly.
You can't hear that much. You probably can't even hear the building.
I got a loud voice.
I'm keeping that up. I think it was open, dude.
Please come out and get a copy of the
Where they
letter.
up? What's that?
Because I have to hand it
No,
out
no.
Portia.
individually.
John 3 and pass them down.
Because it printed an extra page. And I didn't notice. Problem with doing your own lab. That extra page is in the storage.
I'll go get them.
And there was no use to whatsoever in it.
Whatever you want to do, buddy.
It's actually cool. So, how good do you think we are on scale, like 1 to 10?
It's fine. The problem when I talk like this long is I've done that before. And there's always someone who goes, you know, the night before the lab or the day after, like, I didn't know what to do in the last page, there's this extra thing. I was like, you don't remember what I said in class to ignore that section, and then they're panicked. I just find it, a little bit of pre-work can save a lot of problems. Anybody else? And then I'll just give Mr. 90 copies of how to make up the lab. Also, I can't give it to you because now that you have them, it has all the unknowns on it. What is going on? Evan, are they being mean to you now? Am I supposed to be nice? Don't bully Evan. I am his house parent. I am allowed to bully Evan. But nobody else is allowed to bully Evan.
What did you say?
Can you hear his voice?
I don't know. It's too far away.
Spin it back like a minute before Evan.
Hang on.
What's going on?
We had a bit of a private conversation.
No.
Should I delete a section in the recording?
No, you say
I didn't say it.
keep it.
Mr. Tuck,
Yeah?
for me being capable of remaining at Brooklyn College School, can you please remove the area where your screensaver is playing?
Yes. I can.
I've been on my good
Dude, I'm chilling if you want to listen.
plan to remain in Brooklyn. My parents pay so much in this town.
I would point out though, this seemed to happen every time I leave the room.
It's only the second time. Come on.
It's just getting it by
3 strikes and you're out. Come on.
Okay, no, I will. I'll delete it right after this block.
Thank you
Have a
so
square
much.
block.
Thank you so much.
Are you gonna watch me through?
No, why would I?
No, Matt is having a problem with
If I watch it, I would be legally obligated, depending on what comes up, to report it. I do not want to watch something. I should probably delete that sentence too. Okay,
Please hold stream, please.
we are actually going to do something.
Oh, I'm good anyway.
Pull it your nose.
Oh, okay. Chilling. Oh, chilling.
Did you know that?
Can you post I, please?
I did. It's posted. We have 1 minute. What is a KSP?
So you.
KQ. So KSP should not be anything scary. It is just a KQ. We call it something else because we specifically mean a KQ for a solubility product constant. So it's only for solubility equations, so we call it a KSP so the person instantly knows, oh, we're talking about solubility. We're not talking about generic KQ. So it's a KQ for a net ionic solubility equation. And let's say you have what would almost everything precipitates with that. So let's go with Mg3 PO4 2 Mg plus 2 aqueous plus PO4 minus 3 aqueous. We would need 2 of those and 3 of those. Very quickly, without writing it down, what would be the KQ for this equation?
Wait, is it a solid?
This is a solid.
Then it's
Zero.
products over yeah.
What?
Products over well it's just mg.
Mg, the power of
To the power
Three.
of 3.
MG
PO4 to the
three.
power of 2 over 1.
over 1. Excellent. Good. Go. We'll do that next day. And I will now go stop the recording.